trying to call her loads.
Have you?
She came on Friday for about an hour.
Yeah.
Then she left about 9ish.
Megan Newborough was a vibrant 23-year-old from Nuneaton, England, known for her strong family bonds, a tight-knit group of friends, and an infectious zest for life. She worked in the human resources department at Ibstock, a brick manufacturing company, where she thrived and truly enjoyed her role. Her future was full of promise. She was planning to buy her first home, excelling in her career, and recently, her love life had taken an exciting turn. Just a few weeks earlier, Megan had started dating a colleague, Ross McCullum. Friday, August 6, 2021 seemed like any other warm summer evening. Around 7:30 p.m., Megan left her family home, saying she was going for a walk with a work friend and assuring her family she'd be back before dark. While part of that was true, the evening wasn't just about a casual stroll. She was meeting Ross, her new boyfriend. But Megan didn't return that night. Her family, knowing her to be dependable, quickly became worried. It wasn't like her to stay out without checking in. By the following morning, when there was still no word from her, their concern deepened into fear. On Saturday afternoon, they reported Megan missing to the police, explaining that she had gone to meet Ross. The investigation moved quickly. When police arrived at Ross's family home in the Windsor area, he wasn't there, but his father willingly assisted, helping officers contact him.
Hi, it is Ross, yeah.
Hi Ross, my name's Mia. I'm a police officer with Warwickshire Police. Hello. We've just come to your mum and dad's house. We're just looking for Megan. She's been reported missing. Have you seen her at all?
She came on Friday. I've been trying to call her loads.
Have you?
She came on Friday for about an hour.
Yeah.
Then she left about 9ish.
Okay.
I went to McDonald's.
Yeah.
And then she
When Ross finally spoke with the police, his story was oddly detailed, almost rehearsed, which immediately raised red flags. Meanwhile, Megan's family didn't wait passively. Using a phone tracking app, they traced her phone's last location, hoping for answers. For a moment, they felt a flicker of hope. But that hope soon faded into a chilling realization when they found her phone discarded in bushes along Hermitage Road. It was completely out of character for someone as organized and responsible as Megan to leave her phone behind. Only 13 hours after Megan had been reported missing, the case took a harrowing turn. That evening, Ross McCullum was arrested on suspicion of abduction.
At this moment in time, we have reason to suspect your involvement in the disappearance of Megan Newbury, and as a result, I'm arresting you on suspicion of kidnap. So you do not have to say anything.
But the nightmare didn't end there. Megan's body was discovered hidden under a fence not far from where her phone had been found. The gravity of the tragedy became undeniable. By Sunday morning, the evidence against Ross was mounting. Megan's car was located in a college parking lot, with bloodstains found on the passenger seat and nearby areas. Faced with overwhelming proof, Ross McCullum was formally charged with the murder of Megan Newborough. During the interrogation, Ross confessed to the chilling crime in unnerving detail. He revealed that Megan had come to his family home that evening, but at some point things spiraled into a horrific nightmare. Consumed by anger, Ross strangled Megan. Panicking and uncertain if she was dead, he grabbed a sharp object and viciously slit her throat. Desperate to hide his actions, Ross used a bedsheet to clean up the blood before moving Megan's body into his car. Despite not having a driver's license, he drove to a secluded location. There, he left her body on a stone wall, discarded her phone into the bushes along Hermitage Road, and abandoned her car in a college parking lot. To avoid raising suspicion, he took a taxi home, but instructed the driver to drop him off a short distance from his house. Back at home, Ross embarked on a disturbingly calculated charade. He sent a text to Megan's phone that read, "Are you okay, baby?" Later that night, around 11 p.m., he messaged again asking, "Are you back yet?" as if nothing horrific had just happened. He sat at his computer and searched for phrases like, "How do you tell a girl you love her?" He even left a voicemail for Megan saying, "You didn't reply to me, you didn't text, you've probably fallen asleep," and strangely thanked her for a fun evening. The next morning, fully aware of the monstrosity he had committed, Ross continued his facade. He messaged Megan, "Good morning, baby," and when she didn't respond, because she couldn't, he sent more texts, pretending to grow worried. Even more unsettling, he searched online for information about infamous serial killer Levi Belfield. Detectives were left with a haunting question. What went so horribly wrong that night? What could have driven Ross to brutally take Megan's life? Ross attempted to justify his horrifying actions by pointing to his past. He claimed childhood trauma had left him vulnerable and said he lost control during their encounter. According to him, Megan had brought up future plans during their conversation, which made him uncomfortable. He specified that at one moment she playfully tapped his leg and leaned in, saying, "Come here." Ross claimed this small gesture triggered painful memories, pushing him into a violent rage. But the Crown Prosecution Service wasn't convinced. They rejected his loss of control defense, arguing that his actions carried signs of premeditation. In November 2022, Ross stood trial. The prosecution presented a grim reality. Megan had likely visited Ross's home that evening, expecting nothing more than a pleasant time together. Yet, within 40 minutes of her arrival, her life was brutally and tragically stolen. The autopsy revealed a chilling truth. Megan's cause of death was clear: severe pressure applied to her neck. Without this critical finding, her death might have been dismissed as an accident. But the evidence told a much darker tale. Megan had been brutally murdered. Investigators dug deeper, analyzing cell tower data from that fateful night, and uncovered a shocking twist. Ross and Megan weren't at his home as initially believed. The data showed they had ventured to a remote wooded area, hinting that they may have gone there for a private encounter. Adding to the disturbing revelations, it came to light that Ross had previously ordered pills to address performance issues. The prosecution painted a horrific picture. When things didn't go as Ross had planned and Megan rejected his advances, he snapped. Overcome with rage, they argued, Ross launched into the violent attack that ended Megan's life. During the trial, Ross admitted he hadn't gone into the woods intending to kill Megan. However, he claimed the situation spiraled out of his control, saying he felt compelled to act. The prosecution, however, presented damning evidence to dismantle his defense. Key testimonies came from other inmates in jail with Ross. One recalled that Ross had boasted, "If I had gone a bit further, I'd have cut her head off." Another testified that Ross openly admitted to killing Megan and even mentioned plans to use mental health issues as part of his defense strategy. Adding to the disturbing narrative, the court reviewed WhatsApp messages between Megan and Ross. What started as seemingly innocent chats took a dark turn, exposing Ross's troubling and obsessive behavior. The messages revealed bizarre demands, including pressuring Megan to indulge his strange fantasies and insisting she call him Lord Commander. These unsettling messages painted a vivid picture of his controlling nature, leaving those following the trial horrified. Ross's defense team tried to frame him as a man deeply scarred by childhood trauma, arguing that his actions resulted from a loss of control. But the prosecution was quick to shut down that argument, stressing that no amount of past trauma could justify Megan's murder. They highlighted Ross's cold, calculated actions after the crime, how he misled investigators, manipulated messages to cover his tracks, and remained eerily calm throughout. After a 6-week trial, the jury at Leicester Crown Court reached a unanimous verdict. On December 12, Ross McCullum was found guilty of murder. Just days later, on December 16, he was sentenced to life in prison. Under the sentence, Ross will only have the chance to apply for parole after serving a minimum of 23 years.
Before we dive into our next story, if you could take a moment to hit that like button, it would mean the world to us. A single click for you is a huge boost of encouragement for us. Before we conclude this video, please be aware that the video on the left may be disturbing. It is recommended for adult viewing only. On the right, you'll find a playlist of videos that have been highly appreciated by our viewers.